what you're going to see now, it is very interesting work of Isaac Moseson about the Hebrew language. In fact, a lot of material which is going to speak about it is in my book, Hebrew Source of Languages. This is my book, Glazerson, and in fact, a lot of my work is based on its findings. So let us see before a very interesting part of his work, and then you can get my book in glazerson.com, also in Amazon, and see lots of material really based on the finding of Moseson.
The language of the Hebrew man, loud and clear. The language of the Hebrew man.
Shalom.
Wow.
I'm James D. Long. My wife Carol did the technical work behind this presentation. Our company, Lightcatcher Books, published The Origin of Speeches. My own book, The Riddle of the Exodus, documents the Exodus as an historical reality. The Edenics Project, led by Isaac Moseson, attempts to verify the veracity of a crucial Genesis episode even farther back in the mist of our prehistory. The Tower of Babel is a myth, right? Well, keep your eyes and ears open. You're in for a surprise. How old is the idea that all humans spoke Edenic, which is most like Biblical Hebrew? Well, Adam and Eve in the Garden of Eden were factory installed with this language program just over 5,700 years ago. This original mother tongue was scrambled into 70 languages that kept on breaking up at a tower in Shinar, or Sumer. This site is later known as Babel. This traditionally happened in the year 1996 after the creation of man. Do the math. Scientists studying language and genetics have concluded that all people do come from one woman's genes. Just for fun, they call her Eve. Today's linguists finally accept the fact that the whole planet spoke one language. They call it Proto-Earth. Here on the screen, at the top, is that verse in Hebrew. It's okay if you can't read it. Everything in Edenics is put into keyed English letters, but you'll know how the Hebrew was spelled. In Hebrew, this verse sounds like Vayehi kol haaretz safa achat udivarim achadim. In the book, you'll learn how to hear words like whole, earth, speech, words, and each. Whether you're a rabbi, minister, priest, or atheist, a professor of Semitic studies, or someone who doesn't know an aleph from a beit, you have much to learn and enjoy about Edenics. This is pre-Jewish, back to Eden. We will learn how we are all cousins, how words from all languages are cognates, are related. In Edenics, we discover that language was engineered. Sound is sense. Music is meaning. Just as Adam and Eve carried the genes for all the later diversity of human population, every Edenic letter has a range of different sounds within that same part of the mouth. An intelligent designer made this original language system to be very versatile and to be spun off into all African, Asian, European, and Native American languages. The aleph can be any vowel. The beit can shift to any lip letter or bilabial. The gimel can be heard as any throat letter or guttural. The dalet is normally like D, but it can become the other tooth letter or dental. The lamed is like L, but in another language, it can slide over to the other tongue letter, or liquid. Mem and Nun, M and N, are interchangeable nose letters, or nasals. Zion, sonic, Zati, and Shin are whistling letters, or fricatives. All human words are made up of these 7-letter sounds, just like every song is from Do, Re, Mi, Fa, So, La, and T. Shoresh is the Edenic word for root or source. Can you hear source in Shoresh? One of the reasons why our scholars missed finding the Edenic roots in all words, besides disrespect for a silly old Bible story, is because words usually disguise their roots with prefixes before them and suffixes after them. Even when we get irregularity down to regular, Many people wouldn't think of Edenic ragil, meaning regular. So even the AR at the end isn't the subroot of 2 or usually 3 letters. What happens when faith becomes a routine? Well, then religion becomes too regular. We'll soon see how letters can shift locations, not just sounds. So religion is from ragil too. Do you like chemistry, or botany, or physics? The creator of our Edenic language created all these sciences. Consider the formula xy plus yz equals xyz. xy is our first subroot. It is fe resh in feri, a fruit or botanical product. Yz, our second subroot, is the resh het in rayak, a scent or smell. Is there a better chemical formula or poetic haiku than fe resh het, ferak, or flower? It conveys at once the sense that it is a botanical product, and that every fruit is a flower first, combined secondly with the idea that there is a scent or smell. And this information is encoded in just 3 letters. Most Edenic words have a 2-letter subroot and a letter before it or afterwards that differentiates it from its built-in synonyms and antonyms. Back in the year 2005, it was thought that there were only several of these double root words, but now it appears that there are dozens. Some of these are found in the Edenics CD number 3. Most are a bit complicated, so kelev, dog, provides an easy example. If you know cats and dogs, you are aware that dogs are all emotion. In Edenics, that's kol, or all, plus lev, heart. They will courageously face certain death to protect their master, and their loyalty is legend. The YZ, or second element here, the lamed bait, is most important in wolf words like lobo, lupus, and the LV in wolves. The Hebrew wolf word, ze'ev, did not appear among the world's words for wolf. The word kelev did. This earlier term for canine kelev was better called Edenic and not Hebrew. On Noah's Ark, there might have been only one pair of canines. The Adamic canine and his lovely bitch had all the genes for later foxes, hounds, wolves, jackals, and the thousands of later breeds. The same story with human and human words, Edenic words. There is a large chapter devoted to word families in the origin of speeches. On the left, there is a mem nun, or mn family of amounts. Backwards or forwards, mn, or nm, allows you to follow the money, and to link amount with number. Edenic mean, from the larger amount, is the ultimate source for words like minus and many. Edenic is the ultimate source no matter what languages an English word is from. Moon is from Greek mona. Mona means to count in Edenic. People counted time by checking the sky many moons ago. On the right is a word family built on shin, fe, lamed, or SPL. The 2-letter subroot here is pe lamed, as in nafal, to fall. If you fall in a test, you fail. We fall asleep. We also slip and slump into slumber. Whether you read the notes as SPL or SLP, or have an added N or an M in the way, the message remains the music, and the sense is in the sound. There are only 4 or 5 easy principles to learn in Edenics. All of them are well known by the scholars who know that French and Italian are sisters of Mother Latin, but nobody applied these to a Semitic language like Hebrew. The first principle is letters shifting sounds within their range. Lip letters, tooth letters, tongue letters, remember? We'll have more on that at slide number 13. Can you hear the lip letter, or bilabial, in avail, to mourn? Shift from V to W to allow for words like whale, and that mourning bird we call for an unknown reason an owl. Can you hear the nose letter, or nasal, in ilan, a shade tree? Shift to M to allow for that shade tree we now call an elm. Can you hear the tongue letter, or liquid, in har, a mountain? Shift to L to allow for the word hill. Yes, we can now use mountain and hill for different sizes of topographical swellings. Edenics helps you to see similar patterns and not to be as uncreative as a dictionary or certain types of teachers.
Speak up, the language of the Hebrew man. Loud and clear, the language of the Hebrew man. It is the language of the prophets, of the sign upon the wall. It is old and sacred. It will open up your soul. Speak up, the language of the Hebrew man. Loud and clear, the language of the Hebrew